how you doing? So आज छुट्टी का दिन है. आज मैं सोचा कि कुछ बना देते हैं. तो फिर एक दिमाग में एक आइडिया आया कि क्यों ना बनाने के साथ साथ इसको रिकॉर्ड भी किया जाए ताकि शेयर करूँ मैं कोई चीज़ कि क्या बना रहा हूँ, ताकि लोगों को पता चले कि क्या क्या चल क्या रहा है मेरी लाइफ में. तो एक नई चीज़ बनाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. आई एम नॉट श्योर कैसे बनाना है. थोड़े से डिलेमा में हूँ, करना क्या है. लेट्स गेट राइट इनटू इट. ओके, तो दिस वाज द बिग सरप्राइज. आई एम ट्राइंग टू कुक स्टेक. मैं ribeye steak लिया हूँ, which is not that thick. It's like an inch thick or less than an inch thick. So this is ribeye steak. I've seasoned it with garlic powder in the flame, salt and pepper. But I'm not sure how am I going to eat it. So I did nothing until now. I just cleaned it, soaked it in water, let it dry, and then I seasoned it with salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. But being an Indian, I don't know how to eat just raw meat. Not just raw meat, just meat. I want something to go with it. और mashed potatoes तो हम लोग नहीं खा सकते भाई, नहीं पसंद आती वो चीज़. So I'm trying to do something, trying to think of something. I'll be with you in a bit. So here I got my pan fired up, high heat. I put some grease, some oil inside of it. I'm going to let this be completely hot, and then I'm going to sear my steaks for at least 2 minutes aside. I'm trying to start with this layer of fat. I'm trying to melt this layer of fat first and then sear the steak inside of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it one by one or I'm going to do it 2 at a time and 1 at a time. So I'll be sharing the video as soon as this is hot, any moment now. I'm starting the searing process with the fat side down. I'm going to let it stay like that for some time. The smoke detector is going to go through the roof. So I got my exhaust fan fired up. While it is being cooked, make sure not to touch it until 2 minutes, and then flip it, keep it for 2 minutes, and then take it out. I'm not trying to cook it all the way through. I'm not going to eat it that way, but this is the process that I'm trying to put in. Okay, this time to get a beautiful sear of the crust. Let's see. Initially I wanted to take this part off, but then I just wanted to keep it for the sear. Maybe before eating I'm going to take this part off. You don't want that fat in my body. And piece number 2 goes in. I'm trying to do the same thing. Sear with the fat side first. Completely sear the fat side, and then when it is nice and crispy, I'm going to sear the steak sideways into it. This piece has a beautiful bone at the side, and this is how it looks after 2 minutes of searing on one side. I think it needs some help. We're going to need to push it back a little bit for it to be seared on the other side. I don't think it's overcooked. I just think it's rightly cooked. I can smell the beautiful garlic powder right now. A little bit of the black pepper that we added already to it. Absolutely sizzling. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. This is taking the quality. While I was watching a lot of videos how to make it, a lot of people were saying that use a oil with high smoke point like avocado oil, but I don't have it. I have soybean oil. I just used it, and I know right now why they told me to use avocado oil, because I can see fumes of soybean oil, because when it gets too hot, it just boils in the flames. So if we have the liberty of getting a high smoke point oil, just get that. Else you can do what you want. Guys, before I do this, I'm having the second thoughts about my asparagus. this seems too thick. Seems like a fucking tree, bro. I'm not sure if, like, after roasting, this would be like, soft enough so that I can shave it. So I'm gonna put them in the air fryer for 15 minutes to make sure that they're fried and a little bit tender, so that I can then proceed to roast them. I don't know if that's a good idea, but and I'm tossing them into the air fryer. And while the asparagus is being fried in the air fryer, I like, cooked four medium sized potatoes, and I'm putting them in a layer. So this is the first layer. After the first layer, I'm going to add a little bit of oil, a little bit of spices, and I'm also adding sumac, ground sumac to it, all the seasonings. And then go the second layer, then go the asparagus, then I'll put in the steaks, and I'll then cover it with tin foil, and then I'll put it in the oven. And I decided to see the state of asparagus. In just 5 minutes of air frying, it looks very nice and it's edible. Nice, this is nice. So yes, I've seasoned everything. 2 layers of potatoes and then 1 layer of fried asparagus, and then I'm putting my steak on top. This is how it looks. Final product before it goes into the oven. Update. So I was afraid to put the steaks in the oven because I was afraid that this will burn. So I tossed some roughly chopped onions and put it on the top. I wanted the steak to be in the middle of vegetables, like onion on the top and asparagus and potato on the bottom, because I don't want them to burn. Also, I want them to have a little bit of moisture in them, and I don't want them to be completely dry. That's the reason why I added this layering and kept it in the middle, so that the onions will release some moisture and the steaks will cook in it. I'm going to cover it up with foil paper and put it in the oven for 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 minutes. All covered up from all the sides. I've pinched them so that it creates a seal around it, and it's ready to go in the oven. Finally, Bismillah. And underneath the roasted onions, we see our piece of steak lying lush. Ooh, fancy. This is fancy. Look at this.